Hi, Cameron Officer here for Farm Trader. I'm with Nathan Moore from Polaris and we're standing in front of a brand new Ranger EV. That's right, it's an electric vehicle for the farm. Nathan, can you just tell us a few features of this vehicle, primarily the sort of people that are going to use it as well?
Sure, Cameron. Yeah, so this is really a product that's targeting a support vehicle mechanism, councils, government bodies, sort of goat farming, chicken farming, where we want no disturbance and you know, we're in and out of the sheds on a daily basis.
And electric vehicles on the farm, this isn't a new thing for Polaris, right?
No, we've in fact 2010 was the first year for Polaris Ranger EV, and we've developed, I guess, over the series of those 10 years, increased our electrical sealing capability. Electrical motor sealing is certainly a far superior than it was 10 years ago, so we're comfortable and confident we can put this into those environments.
And this vehicle has still got all the sort of capabilities that someone would expect from a Polaris all-wheel drive vehicle, right?
Absolutely, Cameron, yeah. So it has a turf mode, a two-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive feature, so it's a true all-wheel drive side by side when the going gets tough, and these are all selectable on the move. We need to be going slower than 20 k's an hour for them to engage or disengage.
So Nathan, how many batteries are actually running this thing?
So there's a series of 8 12-volt batteries connected to make a 48-volt system, and they're easily accessible. So simply flip the seat forward and remove the underseat bin, which is velcroed in. We can access 3 of them through the underseat mechanism, and then through the under tray we can gain access to the rearward batteries.
And just tell me, you've got a special watering system for these batteries at the moment?
Yes, we do. We have what's called a battery watering kit, so it effectively takes away all the individual cell maintenance of the batteries and creates that common junction for us to plug the plunger or pump into. So weekly check, you know, when we're charging batteries we evaporate the battery level, of course, and then due to environment, temperature and the like, we also have some evaporation. So it is very important with an electric vehicle with a battery as we have right now, that we keep the maintenance up on it, and we don't end up with a damaged battery, which in turn will cause a series of faults with the vehicle.
And day-to-day use, driving this around the farm, I take it there's an indicator here that'll give somebody an accurate read on what sort of battery life is left?
Absolutely, so we have a battery indicator on our dash or instrument cluster here, which gives us a state of charge, it gives us the total usage, as well as an indicator which tells us what range we're in or gear we're in, forward or reverse or park.
So Nathan, for anybody who's thinking, oh, do I have to attach leads to the battery to get this thing charged? It's a lot simpler than that, isn't it?
Yes, it really is a whole lot simpler. So what we do for charging is we flip the hood forward,
yep.
Let that rest on the front bumper, and it's as simple as coming around and grabbing a hold of the 3-pin 240-volt charging plug and plugging that into our 10-amp receptacle, as outlined earlier. So very, very simple. We must charge with the hood open. This is our battery charger unit, and we do need some cooling in and around that as it charges, so bear in mind we need a little extra length if we're parking in a garage or the like to charge.
Sure. And an overnight charge will give it a full boost from flat?
Absolutely, yeah, 6 to 8 hours from depending on state of discharge for a complete charge.
And I know there's a lot of variables involved, but what's the sort of range that people could expect to get out of this?
Yeah, and it's a tough question, but as a rule we target 80 kilometre max range in medium, so we have a high, medium and a low range feature for travel speeds. So we'll obtain that 80k max range and medium range in one-wheel drive, yeah, on hard packed ground.
Right. And recharge time, what are people looking at?
Complete discharge is 6 to 8 hours for a charge cycle. It is a regenerative charging system as well, so when we're decelerating we are putting some energy back into the battery packs to prolong our usage. But certainly in heavy usage you'd be looking at sort of 4 hours and you'd be back having some lunch, giving it a trickle charge to get a couple of hours usage in the afternoon.
Okay Nathan, well we're aboard and we're about to go for a blast, but before we do that I just wanted to see if you could take us through some of these, admittedly a pretty simple setup in terms of controls.
Absolutely, so here we have a conventional handbrake on the vehicle, so a locking handbrake, so for parking when we're not using it of course. We also have our forward, neutral or reverse switch, our turf mode, 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive switch, and our low, medium and high range switches.
Now the low, medium, high range, Nathan, that's the travel speed, is that right?
That's right, that's our travel speed. So you know, if we're climbing and towing, we certainly want to use our low range feature. Medium range is where we're going to obtain our maximum range or distance from a fully charged battery, and then high range if we're looking for some additional travel speed, which is capped at 40 kilometres per hour.
So Nathan, while the power supply for this particular Polaris is quite different from the rest of the range, a lot of the attributes that you expect to find on a vehicle like this are the same, including things like the suspension.
Yes, absolutely. So we run the same suspension in this vehicle as we run in our Ranger 500 or 570 HD, which are our two petrol-powered mid-size variants. So it's a McPherson strut single A-arm suspension in the front of it, and a dual A-arm suspension mechanism in the rear of the vehicle as well. Again, the conventional front gear case, so a differential in the front and rear of the vehicle, giving power to the ground.
Now, I did follow this driving up here to where we're talking now, and I was amazed by the silence of it. I mean, for an electric vehicle, it's silent, let alone for a agricultural vehicle, full stop. Are there safety aspects to the zero sound? Are there aspects to the vehicle that you can option in terms of sound emitted?
By all accounts, yeah. So we don't have engine noises, but we certainly have a reverse beeper as an accessory, which is an audible beep, and of course a horn for any forward movement if we were looking to identify or warn any person or animal perhaps. So yeah, absolutely a part of our accessory catalogue.
So we've taken the Polaris Ranger EV for a blast around some pretty damp hills here in the Hauraki district, and I've got to say it's very, very impressive. Quiet, capable, and obviously very energy efficient. And you can read my full review at farmtrader.co.nz.